Good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm a bit late, minute late. Bit of one of them days. Right, let's have a look. Where are we at? Ooh. Let's set the multi-stream going. How's Scott? Oh, don't say that's actually working. It is. Yep, there we go. I've actually got chat working so I can see it on what comes through from, hopefully, what comes through from Facebook. So I'm presuming that's where Scott is. How are you doing? Hi, Foxy. So, I can see that. I can see that. That's a bit strong. And yeah, just a bit flustered. Nearly swore. Thought I'd got ahead of the curve today, last week, by buying in a load of filament for the printers. Couple of £100 worth to sit on the shelf to get us through all of this. Went to order some more today for a specific job. Did a reorder, only to realise the reorder was actually a different material. It was ABS material, so I thought, I clicked the wrong button. But no, when I checked, the 10 boxes that I've got on the shelf are all ABS and not good for my printers. So Joe's nicely sorting out a return. And then can't understand why, but the price of PLA has gone up from £15 a roll to the best part of £30 a roll. So it's been a lovely day. So, worst comes to worst, we just have to stop the printing for now, which I've been printing some lovely buildings. I know Foxy's been seeing all of the buildings come along. So these are buildings. This is actually a reject because it's splattered everywhere. But these are buildings for Monster Apocalypse. We started doing some of these just for me and a couple of friends. They're not for sale or anything like that, but that's one of the monsters. It's from the starter set that I'm spraying for a friend. I might get some primer on that tonight. And that's sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, I'll stop playing with monsters because my monkeys didn't come. I was going to paint some monkeys tonight. Yeah, no monkeys. No monkeys for Lee. Oh yeah, I've already printed about 30 already, mate. So we're good for us. For at least one table's worth. Hi, Captain Rex. Good to see you. Oh, am I knocking? It's definitely going to be one of these days. Hi, Snowy. Do you know what would be great now? A big, huge snowy cuddle. So, in some good news, today ProTech put up all of their stock that they've just got for Gamer's Grass. I don't know if any of you have heard of them. I'll just show off some of the samples. So, we use them on the stream. We've seen them before. These little tufts that go into stuff that... There we go. You can see the tufts, and they're great. They're already sticky. You can just stick them straight on, and away you go. Oh dear. I'll pass on the cuddle for now then, Snowy. Hey, Jack. So yeah, we've been listing all of the different packs of basing materials. So when you see them on the website, you don't exactly see them like this, but they're a pack. This is the wild ones that are just random shapes. So you get 70 in one of them packs. Then there is more uniform ones, which I don't have, which are small tufts, which are them. And you get quite a lot of them. Let's turn the brightness down on the camera quite nicely. Then there's tiny tufts. Now the tiny tufts, I've just started using these on the buildings for Monster Apocalypse, and they work perfect. They've actually scaled really well to the size of, that's a monster, that's the little bit of grass that it's not going to really trip over or even bother it about. But that on the basis of the buildings has actually turned out quite nicely. So they do different versions, different colours, different some totally different styles. So there is, for Legion, there is alien grass, which is absolutely bright blue, but there's also neon grass, which is bright purpley pink neon, which is amazing. And then they do packs. So this pack has it can basically do this sort of thing. It's got four different sets in, all in the wild. Yeah, all in the wild layout, not in the small. But that all goes together to make like a marshland looking base or diorama or whatever you're doing it with, and they all just work well together. And I think they come in around about 9 or 10 quid for the full pack. The smaller pack, or are they 8 quid? They might be 8 quid, because these are the single packs are 4 quid. Some of the bigger tuftier ones are like a £5. It depends how much material goes into them. But I got a load of samples, and I'm going to do a basing night, probably next week, of different ways to do bases. I just didn't get prepared in time because I've been doing all of the listings today. So we've got some sample packs. Now I already have hundreds of these, so what I might do is, as part of the giveaway next week, do some of the samples to some of the subs, people that have subbed. But for the giveaway, Gamers Grass have very generously, it's all about the base, yeah, no rebels. Gamers Grass actually gave us 4 packs of various ones to do a giveaway with, and some amazing, I'm going to compare these today, and I promised Gamers Grass I would do that today. So these are battle ready bases. These come pre-painted, pre-built. They're reasonable. They're not, if I remember rightly, which I'm not going to the just Google searching or anything like that, because I wouldn't do a thing like that. They come in loads of different styles. It's the only stuff we haven't picked up yet. And these are the, I think, Urban Warfare 25s, and basically 10 of them. And he says, looking, £15 for 10. I think. Snowy, what do you think of them for bolt action Germans? I may have to because Snowy give me a quick a quick run into bolt action some time ago now. Ooh. So they're slightly small. I think you would get away with them as well. They're meant to be a lot smaller. I might be able to make a conversion for that. So a 25 to 27 converter. Yeah, I just think they're absolutely fantastic. I might have to get them in and look at them for bolt action. I need to look at bolt action to see what size bases they are. So I'm also... Next week when I do the basing thing, I'll have a load of bases and a load of bits and pieces that I've been doing. And I will... again, Gamers Grass have been very, very kind, and oh, that looks horrible now I've pulled it up. You can't see it. And they've Warcry, yes. The fact that it's got a World War One tyre imprinted on it, but I think there's others. Their list of basing types at the moment are Highland, Winter, Arid, Badlands, Temple, and Urban Warfare. So I think, yeah, I'm probably go with Temple for, yeah, conversions for the annoying sizes. Looking at the Temple ones, I think the Temple ones would be amazing for Far Cry, like you said. Far Cry? Is it Far Cry? Far Cry. Warcry. Far Cry is the board game. Wow. So yeah, I might the next time I put an order in with them, I might do that. As an example, if you're going to use 32mm bases, 32mm is round about the £15 for 8. 40mm are £15 for 5. 50mm are £14 for 3. 60mm £30. So they're reasonable. Ooh, yes, I want to have a look at Frostgrave too. There's so many games, so many monies. At least Frostgrave, I can use stuff that I've already got. I just have to buy the book. So the other thing, and these are not going into the giveaway because I've actually bought these myself. I've got these for myself. We have one set of each left on the store. And now these are basing bits. So these are bits to go onto the bases. And they do 2 different sets. There's the Temple set, which I'm presuming looking at the bits that are there, they are all also going into the Temple. They match the Temple bases, which is good. And then there's a rock set. Excuse me. And the rock set, and not the Look Sharp rock set before you start snowing. So they're, I think they're £14, and you get loads of bits of Temple to put down on bases. Obviously, they're not going to fit anywhere on Palp's base, but when you've got like a Tauntaun running through a Greek temple, like they did in all of the Lobster. In all the Star Wars movies, they always ran through the temples and stuff like that. But the good quality little resin pieces, it's a great idea. You can snap them up, drop single bits on. And again, it's the same for the rocks. They're a good little set. And there's plenty there to do a fair few bases. And the rocks, I'm having to open these because I haven't had a chance to even go through them myself. I've already had a set of the rocks and I've used them all. So the rocks are just like little jagged pieces. A little bit better scale than just putting down blue slate on stuff. They actually look in the scale with, a little bit better than blue rock. Worth the extra money. definitely worth the extra money. So I've picked a couple of them up for myself. As I say, we'll have a basing session next week. I'll do X-Wing bases, Legion bases. There's a load. I've got a load of snow or winter fauna and stuff like that. So that's going to be next week, and just putting a thank you out to Gamers Grass for that. They've done amazing to get us the stock. I think it was 4 days to get the entire range sent over and sorted out. It was absolutely fantastic service. So, as I said, they're all up on the web shop now. I know a couple of you, not mentioning any jacks, have already jumped in there and picked up a couple of the bits. As I say, there's more coming from them, and a lot more coming from what we're doing. So, last week we hit the subs goal. I was wanting 5 subs, and we hit, I think we're up to 16 subs now. Or is it more? 16 subscribers. That's absolutely fantastic. And we hit the donation goal. Now, what I said was, if we hit the donation goal, we would put up a stretch goal and add some extras to the prize pool tonight. So, the extras, there's going to be some cards and stuff that I've got as well as these, but the extras tonight are a complete set. Again, as we do normally, we've got X-Wing players and Legion players watching. So, if you win and you're an X-Wing player, you can choose either. You don't have to just choose the X-Wing dice. So we've got a full set of this year's Regionals X-Wing dice. These are actually mine, the ones that I got for TOing at Beanie Games. And we have a set of the quite hard to get Legion. These are actually white, but they're clear. Clear dice that roll crits. Thank you, Ulfric. These were in the kits that were just coming out, and we managed to pick up a couple of bits and pieces before. Oh, lucky black dice. Yeah. These, as I was talking to Snowy last week, these are going for ridiculous prices on eBay at the moment. So there's 2 really good prizes there. We've got a small £50 stretch goal. I messed up setting it up because it says it has 732 days to go. It hasn't. It's just today, tonight and tomorrow night. So whenever that goal's met, these are going up, and whoever gets them gets to choose which set they want. So I've got a tank. If I run out of stuff to do, I've got a tank to build tonight. I'd like to get some primer down on a couple of bits through the airbrush, and there was. Oh, I've just found some. I've just found your prizes from last week, Jack, or the week before, and Snowy's. They're all in a box together. So what we had, I've just messed it up. Never knock a pile of cards over. So, there he is. And is it that one? Yeah. So, where did it? Oh, there it is. So the normal, I wouldn't say goal, but the normal prize tonight is one of K's metal General Grievous cards. We're going to be, if I do have extra time tonight, I'm going to be doing part or trying to start on Mr. Dooku, so his mate can. And then on the other side, it's Captain Seer. So again, you'll get the choice. If you want an X-Wing prize, God, that light's really bright. There's Captain Seer. If you don't, there is the really nice double-sided spot gloss credit card, Legion Shore Troopers and Rebel Veterans. So that's the prizing for tonight. 2 to give away. 1 of each. You choose which ones you want when you do it. So, actually on to doing some painting type work. And I'm still really flustered after all of this stuff. So, I did a raster. Sorry, Captain Rex. When I left the stream, I'd noticed that I hadn't really got the gold really well, and I'd missed some bits. And so let's have a bit of a zoomy. So I tidied the gold up a bit and did the red canopy. What I also did is did a blue, I don't know if you can see it, on the top of the droid, and then turned it over, and about an hour later I noticed I had a blue dot on my thumb and there was no longer any blue on there. So I'm going to quickly put the blue back onto there. What I've actually done is highlighted some of the gold again, just with the original gold. So the gold's all been touched up a little bit, and because the red had subdued so much, I used some watered down contrast, very watered down, and put it on like a glaze just to bring the red back up. And I think it's come out all right. I just need to do the blue. So it's just stone soul blue. Right, what this doesn't have in, because I didn't have any at the time, is any glass beads. So again, this is going to sound very much like QVC all night. So when I decant bottles from the, he's saying the normal GW pots, from the normal GW pot type of thing into a dropper bottle, a lot of the time it's so I can yeah, I haven't varnished it yet, mate. But I've took more than 2 out. Nah, I did 2 in 2 hours, so I've got, yep. So yeah, these are just glass beads. We sell them on the shop, and you just drop them in. They work on all. I have them in all of my most common used Vallejo colours. Clean that up, and it just, I don't know if you can see that, it's settled, and it's going to take me an age to get that out the bottom. But with the glass beads in, it's still going to take ages, because I forgot how much this sort of settles. And I haven't got any other clear blue. Oh, I do have another clear blue. Right, I'm going to admit defeat on that one. And I've got a very small, and I mean a very small amount of the Forge World Calth blue, which doesn't need shaking. So excuse me, got one of those dry tickly coughs. I don't know where it's come from. There we go. And I've probably wasted more down the back of the pot than I used on the actual miniature. So that's about as far as I wanted to take it. It isn't a, as Captain Rex is going to laugh at this, it isn't a Rasta masterpiece. Rasta masterpiece. Ooh. I'm going to coin that phrase before he gets it. It was just a quick paint job to show everyone that if you want to do them yourselves, they are reasonably easy once you learn and you start picking up the techniques and stuff like that. I know it's doing me out of a job, but if I can teach someone to paint stuff, as Jack will tell you, I really enjoyed teaching Jack bits and pieces, still do. Jack asks me questions all the time, and it is quite nice to try and help people. I prefer that to actually painting and selling stuff for people. Yeah, I'd say tabletop. I don't know, I'm probably a bit critical of my own work. I'd probably call it tabletop. Yeah, we'll call it tabletop. I could go a little bit... Ooh, I forgot about that. See? Rasta wouldn't have forgot about them. So, the stuff I normally use is... So, this is the glow from the engines. And again, it's another blue, and it's this time a Gulliman blue glaze, if you can find any. Mr. Johnny Wright from Rebel Base Gaming had 2 pots of red on his shelf last week. And as a lot of you know, my friends that own stores and stuff like that, I'll buy bits and pieces off them where I can and as I can. So any stock that I've needed, I've bought from Beanies, I've bought from Harlequins, I've bought from Rebel Base, and anyone that I do work with, and I'll try and go to them first. And I needed a bolt action tank because, as we said before, I was going to try and do, after doing a couple of bolt action, not a bolt action, a Fury tank for my good friend Dead Stay. There we go. That'll thin out a lot once it dries, so I will leave that nose first so it doesn't dribble out. Yes, he looks around. I do a lot. Nope, that's varnish. You don't make it out of varnish. That's a lot of ball bearings to pick up later. That's varnish as well. What? There we go. So, what I've got, Jack, is Vallejo's Glaze Medium. There's probably other ones out there, but I've not come across them. And as an example, let's have a look. Vallejo Park Green, Flat Green, or Park Green Flat, which is just their normal green. A dollop of that, and you don't need much paint. That's the thing about it. And quite a bit of the glaze medium. And I won't use my good brush for mixing it, or someone will shout at me. I've only got good brush. Where's all my... One of my original broken toads. So even that small amount is probably still quite a lot. What have I got that I can paint it on to show you? I'm not doing a green tone. Don't care how much you ask. He's one of the beholder. Evening, Kay. Thank you, Wangan Midnight. Thank you for the sub. So let me have a look. See how. There we go. Seeing how that's just a save visible, mate. And that's all the glaze is. It thins the paint down. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't thin the paint down to the point where it actually breaks and separates. If you were to do that with water to that sort of degree, you get separation like spoiled milk. Whereas that, you just build it up and you've got quite a good green glaze. And that will do things like the blue that we did on his hands and stuff like that. Your beholder is winging its way up to your kit. So, I also did a couple of bits more. I darkened the blue. Darkened the blue down here. Cleaned up some of his hands, cleaned up the brown and washed the brown, and did a bit more on his face to just lift it a bit, and then round there. And what I was going to do, so the base, and I'll show you how to do these bases next week, because I've picked up another pot of my Vallejo earth texture is just about out. So that's Vallejo earth texture, brown earth. When it comes out very much like sand. So if you do a quick dry brush, once this is dried, you get the sand effect. And then if you use those gamer's grass shrubs or tufts, you then get Tatooine base. But I've got him on a Tatooine base. I've got him on a Death Star base. Thank you, mate. So that was just Agrax Earthshade. Neat Nagrax. Agrax, wow. Breathe. Neat Agrax Earthshade. Straight over that. I do need to clean up where I've messed up all around there. In fact, I can do that now. So, this was my first... No, this wasn't my first ever one. This was my first ever Neat Nagrax Earthshade. Yes. This was my first ever Broken Toad number 2. It's... I can't remember. I think Snowy might have given me this one because I couldn't get one at the time. And I've got a set of 1s, 2s, and... well, I've got a couple of sets of 2s and a couple of sets of 3s now. But that's 4-year-old, and it still keeps its point. There we go. Just neat black. I use Vallejo 950 black. It's just their model colour. I always use the same black for the bases. This matches the... I know some people will be laughing, but there is different. Even standard black from different manufacturers tend to look different. I'm going to have to up the light because my big torch in the garden's going out. We had this last week. As the nights get lighter or darker, I start having to play around with the camera while I'm using it. Okay. There we go. You can see that now. So the base done as far as the colour. If you wanted to lift the colour on the base, you could dry brush that There's two ways of doing it. If you want it really vibrant and really like a really good contrast between the lower recesses and the upper, you would dry brush it now. If you want a more subtle one, you dry brush it before you do the Agrax Earthshade wash, and it just gives you a bit more or a bit less of an effect. So the things that we were promising, these are burned, I believe they are burned. So I'm just using Army Painter's it's just PVA basing glue. Where's my trusty 10-year-old Tamiya tweezers? They're bent as anything. They can only just to say grip stuff nowadays, but they're perfectly fine for this. I do keep saying I'll reinvest. So I put a small bit of PVA on. Hey Rattler, yeah, just finishing it off, mate. It's so if you press it hard enough in a couple of places, the self-adhesive holds it. I'm trying not to press too hard because that's wet. And it is personal preference. I'll show you one without. So there's a little bit of space. So that's without the PVA. They both do the same. I just always, since first doing these, before Gamers Grass, before I was using Gamers Grass products, the stuff I got came on a sheet, and as soon as you peeled it off, it was no longer sticky. So you had to glue them. So that's Mr. Palpatine done. I have actually managed to get loads. I'm hoping that's not overspray. It's not, it's just dust. So is that a number 2? Number 2. I wonder if I've got a number 3. There we go. Oh no, that's a number 1. Oh, I've got a number. If I had a number 2, that would be amazing. So that's a Mark 3, number 2. So that's their newest one. That's the Mark 2. And that is the Mark 1 escaping. There you go. They're getting the point. I've explained this to Jack the other day. If you can see the points will all be the same. Whereas when you go down, the points get even finer. So this part of the brush, Jack, is what holds the paint in. So that's what goes onto the model, but this is the area that holds it. So the more time on the model, the more paint on the brush. Thank you, Fair, for liking the stream. Right, so I'm calling Palp done. The jets. I've got the little blue in the centre and a little bit of white. I don't know if you can see that clear enough, but the white dot in the centre. Didn't have to do anything. I just dropped the wash in there. It's pulled around the edge. It's recessed, and it gives a little dot of white in the middle. So another little cheat, as it were, and you get a nice effect of the engines. So I'd say that's them two finished for now. And I'm not going back to them. Captain Rex. So yes, for the people that weren't here, thank you, Jack, for reminding me. I'll just zoom out a bit. The stream tonight has a extra over the next couple of nights, whenever we're doing it, has a bit of a bigger stretch goal. If we hit it tonight, we'll run it tonight. If not, we'll just run the normal one. So the stretch goals for tonight is, if we hit it, there is either a set of Legion White attack dice, which have just started to come out, or a set of my very own black regional X-Wing dice from last season. Whoever, as I say, if we hit the £50 stretch goal tonight, they're up for grabs as well. The normal ones for tonight, again, X-Wing or Legion, you choose. So we have a Captain Seer and General Grievous fully modded lighting card, or a Shore Troopers and Rebel Veterans spot gloss card. So they're the ones that are up for grabs tonight. And say, if we hit the goal tonight, great. If not, it'll roll over. We can run it tomorrow night, or next Monday. And I think I also found a way of not breaking the giveaway as well when we do them. So, I'm going to do some priming. So, I'll just double check I've just noticed a splodge. Yeah, Ulfric, we need to get a couple of sets of carrier pigeons just to send your stuff down to you, just to save the postage each week. I think Ulfric's won something on every one of our streams so far. So I'm just getting this. I've just missed a couple of bits of mold lines. So this is Monster Apocalypse by Privateer Press. Just a bit of a fun game a couple of us have picked up, giving it a try out. Well, we will when lockdown's over, so we've all bought it to paint while we're in lockdown. How much higher, Jack? Can you have a look? How much have you checked them today? Check them in about an hour, mate. Yeah, there's no point in checking yours, Ulfric. Yours goes up a couple of thousand every 10 minutes. Let me have a double check. Have you subscribed or anything like that? Because you get stuff for subscribing, and you should be getting about 1 point a minute every 10 minutes, so 10 points every 10 minutes. I don't know. Stop picking on me. Let's have a look. I have actually sent Nanny bot a message saying, can I nick your settings because I've never done any of this before. So whoever's getting extra points at the moment, enjoy the extra points at the moment. Loyalty interval every 10 minutes, payouts to live users, 10 points every 10 minutes. I think I've got that right. Can you keep an eye on it for us, Jack? Let us know in like an hour or so. I can the settings are so ambiguous. It says interval in minutes when points, amount of time between each payout. Yes, so I've put it 10 minutes, so you've got to watch it for 10 minutes. You only get it when you subscribe, Jack, so you get 500 points per every time you subscribe, so that would have jumped it up as well. Payouts to live users is 10 points. So it could be 10 points every 10 minutes, or is it 10 minutes and you get 10 lots of 10 points? I don't know, it doesn't say. And then apparently you get 5 more for every person that's active in the stream. Gets 5 more every 10 minutes. I think that's what it is, or it could be 5 per minute. Does it actually say on there? Currency that a viewer will earn on top of the live amount when they talk in your chat. So if you've got people talking, the points go up faster. Then amount of time between each payout, but there's nothing on the... It just says payout to live. I think subscribers get double. Have I done... Possibly? Yeah, so you might... I don't know. I do have someone that is going to look into the background of... It's not points per postal, frick. It's points for talking. Wow. Points whoring. Now do a points check, old frick. See what you got. So, airbrush. Ooh, airbrush not clean. Blah, blah, blah points. Yeah. So, see, doesn't give you them per post. So, I've been using my airbrush today, and I didn't get round to actually cleaning it. So, as you can see, it's got muck on the needle, and I need to clean it. The best stuff for cleaning it I've found is just spray Airbrush Cleaner in a spray can, and it is called Spraycraft. It's quite pungent. It smells very much like WD-40, but it's more thinners based, and you can see the lines that come off it. Even when you think you've got a clean needle, half the time you haven't. So quick rub through in the opposite direction to the needle so you don't stab yourself. And then I'm going to put some in the pot as well. The first 4 or the first 3 people who donated Snowy all got a bonus. So that's why yours are so high, and you've been donating loads. So clean, look, clean, never been mucky. I'll just put some water through it. So these are going like an orangey colour. I hope he wants them orange. Not stabbing us. Yeah. You know I stabbed myself. So Kay was talking to me and I managed to actually stab myself in the leg with a airbrush I was stripping and cleaning and fixing for someone. So when you take that off, basically the needle is free floating, and if it doesn't have one of these stoppers on the end, like the cheaper ones don't, it comes out like a bullet. My leg can actually attest to that. So that hurt. But here you go, Kate. Let's see if we can get it. Nope. It's going to have to back up a bit. I had to stop painting and such this week because that's what a 250-degree print head does to your finger when you touch it by mistake. Hi, Lucky. So, priming it in white. So that's the styrol I can never say it. It's Badger's paint. And it's just their white primer. Comes in a 473ml bottle for £25 from my good friend Steve Puffer at Barwell. I get a lot of my airbrush stuff from him. So what I'm going to do first is put a glove on, because I know Rasta will turn up. Yeah. Starting to think I shouldn't be let loose with a 3D printer either. So these little fellas go on clear bases. So what I'm going to do is do the underneath first. And I'll show you why in a minute. So all of these little fellas will get a white blast underneath. I was going to say, I don't think they're going to show up very well with it being bright white. Tell you what, at the moment, we're not going to get much work done on the 3D printers. There is just no PLA left anywhere. So just do all the underneaths for now. Let them dry. Look, my fingers. So I'm going to take this fella and do his bum first. So then by the time I get round to start doing the upper parts, he's okay to stand up. Everything will be dry down there. So it's not like the fine detailed work that I was doing. It's fairly high pressure. The paint is straight out the pot. I haven't thinned it or anything like that. Also, not knowing these models, the white primer is showing up, like just there, I can't see, but it's showing up a couple of patches that need fixing. By the way, Snowy, the resin that these are made of, I know it's a long time since I've done any of the privateer press stuff, but the resin's really nice from these. So what I'll do now is just use the air to get some of the bottom parts dry. So I got a message this week or last week. Oh, I've not come across any of the sharper detail yet, so I might, and I've got a lot of their stuff coming over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do some box openings and stuff like that. I had someone contact us about the entry into the beanies competition last week. Someone who hadn't spoke to on Facebook since 2015, 16. And it turns out I bought a lot of Signar stuff off them, off your recommendation. So that's very bright, but a lot brighter than it was. So I'm hoping that the orange colours do really stand out on it. And I know you won't be able to hear that much of what I'm saying because of the airbrush. I do know it's loud. Oh, I had filled this. I was using that because I thought I hadn't filled my small bottle. Really looking forward to getting this on the table tonight. I think I've watched every report, every playtest, everything going for it now. So, what I was going to show you is a secret technique of painting stuff. It's not secret, but I know a few people. Where did I put that? I have to be very careful putting that in there without its cover on it. Ah, it's there. I've blown it away. Yeah, well, I've decided I'm going to stick to monkeys till the dragons come out, and then I'll have monkeys and dragons running around on the board. What more could you want? So, with all these little ones, rather than holding them in my fingers, we have a bit of dado rail, I think it was, or just a bit of wood. What I normally do is run a bit of double-sided tape down. The Grand Magpie of Shiny. No, I could have bought everything. Well, I did buy everything going, but I'm only going to keep the monkeys and the dragons. So this is just a bit of wood. Normally run double-sided tape down it, but I've had to improvise with some masking tape and taping it to the masking tape. So a quick one is just to the models that you need to primer, stick them to the stick. Don't they look like cute little puppies? Anyway, so once they're stuck to the stick, you've got a little bit more control and not sticking fingerprints in them and stuff like that. I know there's a GW painting stick that would hold stuff in, but there's no bases on these, so you can't really... I need to turn that down a bit, because you can't see any of that. I've had a... Yeah, sorry about that. So again, just with the white, I'm going to do this off screen so I can do it quicker. You should be able to still see me in the little picture. So it's just to pass down each one with the white primer. You've already done the underside that's stuck to the base, so... Oops. And that's the sound of white primer running out. So yeah, that's shown up a couple of little defects as well. So I can now go back and pick up the defects because these are for a friend, so I like them to be right. So, oh, we can talk about the competition now, eh, Snowy? Since it's over and the winners are all in. So, Beanies ran a painting competition a couple of weeks ago for a single miniature. And it was won by Phil Lowther for a plaguey type dude. So I picked up a job off Snowy a couple of weeks ago, and part of that condition was that I got it done for the second competition, which was a squad of 3 to 5 figures, or more if you wanted. So depending on size, it was like between 3 and 5 figures, and Snowy said I had to enter. Did you see where it came, Snowy, in the end? Right, I'll put that away. I'll leave them for now. I'll give myself 2 minutes without glasses, and I'll grab Snowy's. Yeah, it came second, mate. So, these were what I did for Snowy and the competition in the end. So, we have a Captain America. I used some of the new Tufts on them as well, Snowy. If my daughter was watching, she would come and make me a drink. Yeah. And he's an all-round nice guy anyway, so I didn't mind. There was a slight extra bit of yeah, there was a bit more detail than normal that went into them, because one, I wanted to see how well I could do, and two, obviously I knew they were for Dale, and if he finds anything wrong with them, then there's not a problem. But they're the new, if you look at the back, that's the new Tiny Tufts. So that they're not a set that you can put Tufts onto, really. But I don't mind. If he wants something changing, a change of anything, then that's fine. I don't mind. So yeah, the Tufts don't normally go on these bases because they're normally huge and they're quite overpowering. Imagine putting that Tuft. It's just a bit too much. Where these, you could shove into the gaps as if they were coming through, like you'll see on some of the others, that you can see coming through the crack work in the paving. So that was Captain America. I did Captain Marvel. Again, the bases and the Tufts, the rock, the blue that I think I spent way too much time on the blues on quite a few of them. And the worst part is getting good enough photos to put up. When you see it on the live stream like that, you can see a lot more of the detail because you see it in different angles and stuff like that. And I didn't want to put 50 pictures up. So we have Spidey on his iron girder. Yeah, exactly right amount of time. I picked up on your game, matey. And then Iron Man. So Iron Man was done exactly the same way as I've done him in the past on the stream, and he looks fantastic. I really do like Iron Man in these colours. I did slightly change it to what I did on the stream because I just didn't think there was enough gold. I saw someone else's that had the panels more gold. Sorry, big ape fingers in the way. So I did these bits of the gold, highlighted it a bit more. And then, again, I spent way too much time on just the cape. So this is thought. He has highlighting on black that I'd never done before. So this is the first time that I've done. These are glazes, black, Eshin grey and black mixed glaze up to the points. Muscle work, the muscles and stuff like that on the model are absolutely brilliant. It just works. Again, all the little bits of tufts of grass. that was the one that we were going to do extra. So I've done the cape in 2 different colours. So underneath is a richer red, and then up on top, where you can actually see it, is a brighter red. But again, that was airbrush work and red glazes and stuff like that. Yeah, a little bit more than your average average paint job. But to be honest, Snow, you and Dale are both worth it. I don't mind doing that sort of extra for you. So they're all in the box for whenever you want them made. They've all been varnished as well, so they are semi-protected in testers. So, and they're all back in your box. I don't want to break them because I have a confession to make. When I did the photos, I then picked Spider-Man up, looked at him, and where the super glue had fallen out and I'd filled with white putty, in the pictures for Beanie's competition, the white putty mark was still there. I hadn't finished them. So I was like, oh, oopsie. But selective photography, you didn't see it. So, God, I need to get a better camera mount. At the moment, that one's just bouncing all over. I'll take these fellas off. So they just come off. There's hardly any adhesion, but it's enough not to get blown away by the airbrush. And it's a stick. Jalapeno and a stick. Come on, someone must know that reference. Let's go back a bit. Ooh. Whee! And thank you, Snowy, for the donation. I didn't see that sneak in. So, where is he? I've just had him. Dooku. So I'm going to do some work on Dooku. What time is it? It's 9. I'll get the core colours down. So, what I'm thinking is, I've seen a couple done where, I've seen one done that looks like Captain Rex. It really does look like, it doesn't look like Dooku at all. Well done, Jack. Let's have a, have I managed to chip his face? Yeah, it's a little bit of... Let me have some white just to cover that up for now. Just check because he has been sat around for a couple of weeks. When I got him and who we got him off, I'd already glued him together and I couldn't break the glue apart. There was a huge gap in his chest to cloak area, so I've had to fill that with, I use Vallejo plastic putty. It's really good. It goes into gaps, it fills the gaps really well. So what I'm thinking is, I know everyone's doing them in all different browns, but I quite fancy this area doing in a like a black colour, like a dark blacky brown, black, brown, brown, black, and then there's another bit. I missed all that. He is stood on good old fashioned cork bark or cork. It's just cork matting. It's about, is it 5mm thick? No, that's not 5mm, is it? It is. And I've just decapitated. So 5mm. And then it was sprayed white with the rest of the model, and that is good old fashioned Black Templar, I believe it is, the black's called Black Templar contrast. So what I'm also going to do is, let me zoom that out a bit. For the black here, yeah, I'm going to try and mix some contrast. Let's see how that goes. My contrasts are deep under piles of other stuff at the moment. Ooh. Now I say I'm liking. So no, you know when you look through the paint and then you see something that you fancy a lot better. So this is Leviathan Blue. So I don't know if you can see, what we do is I super glue a 3D printed skull to the top of them, and they're all done in the grey, so I can actually see roughly what they come out like. So I know over white that should be a lot brighter. I'm not doing it in animal print. So yeah, that blue I think might be a nice blue for his. Is it just me, or is that? Yeah. So again, I haven't used this one. All I've done is put the things on it. A couple of ball bearings in there. It's very dark. I think it's going to be like a black. Like a very deep royal. Is it royal blue? You can actually see on that it just looks black, but I'm hoping it just gives the blue tint. Oh, that might actually be really nice. So yeah. So with contrast, you do apply it quite thick. Well, not thick, liberal, I think is the best way to put it. So it finds its level on the miniature. If you're doing it all in contrast, then you've got to be careful, and sometimes you've got to go back. I won't be doing it all in contrast. I'll just be doing the brown, the main base coat, the brown and the blue, now the blue, in contrast. So hitting the belt and stuff like that isn't too much of a problem. I saw your Obi one today, Kate. That is absolutely fantastic. If anyone hasn't seen it, I think it's on the UK Legion page. And what did you name it? I don't know if you can see. The blue's coming really nicely through there. I'll do the trousers as well. It's not easy to get up in the back of some of these. Might have to touch that one up because that is going to get done in the brown. Contrast paint on skin is an interesting kettle of fish. Down the back as much as possible. All of this can be tidied up later. It's just to get the base coat down. There we go. What have you done this time, Anakin? That was yeah, it was amazing. I'm quite impressed with that blue. It's probably not the right colours for Grievous, but what's the phrase? He's my Grievous. Well, it'll be someone's if they buy it, but he's my Grievous for now while I paint it. I think it's just the tint of the blue on the jacket and stuff that I want, and the trousers and that, and then I'll darken the rest down in the black. So that's the glue. Quick bit of white where we messed it up. So I've just noticed that I think I held it by the lightsaber when I primed it. Cool. So contrast one done. Oh, that's never been opened either. Is this what? Yeah, I've had 2 pots of this, that's why it's never been opened. He's done that somewhere before, hasn't he? Getting it lit and doing that would be quite impressive. Let's get the brown in there, out of the way. So what's everyone been painting this week? I heard rumour of Foxy doing some droid building. Go on, Jack, how fast is it going up? See how that fills into the robes, into the gaps and stuff like that. It's really good tool in the box. Are you talking about the brown? Yeah. Can't remember there was a clear brown I used when I did the last live stream of it. I forgot to ask, have you managed to pick up any Monster Apocalypse yet? I'm not biting. I know exactly what you're on about. But we're not going there, okay? I've missed... There's a bit right down in the back of his... I need bendy brushes that go around corners. I've got all the monkey stuff now, so I don't think there's much else that I need as far as that goes. But I bought a chunk of that Riot Quest stuff to try, and also to see what the minis are like to paint. And there's not many people doing streams of it in the UK, so I thought that would be a good one to stream. For two reasons. One, it looks really fun, and two, no one else is really doing much of it. And the minis look fantastic. Sorry. And the good news is, I've got enough for everyone when we do come to play it, so no one has to buy any. Brown belt as well. So the stream froze, or the stream froze for me. Is everyone else okay? And I might do some highlights over the belt area because the blue's gone on it a bit as well. So I might redo the blue with the brown. Right. He doesn't wear gloves. No, he doesn't wear gloves. And I want to really define the boots rather than just have a continuing colour down it. So let's go to the black. Okay, it's a bit strange, that one. It could be because I'm uploading and downloading and all that sort of stuff at the same time. Yeah, a lot of people, some people I know from a couple of the chat groups I'm in, saw contrast paints as cheating when they first came out, didn't want anything to do with them. And for batch painting armies, to get them just to tabletop and get them so you can actually use them in tournaments and stuff like that, it's probably now one of the best toys in the toolbox. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can. I'll just put the pot on the black before I spill it. I've ordered a new mat, by the way, because if everyone hasn't noticed, it's getting rammy. I've ordered one of the cutting mats so we can actually see a bit clearer. So, there you go. I think the blue needs to darken up a bit, so it's not royal blue. So it's like a really dark blue. But the brown, I've missed a bit. I need to take some off there anyway. Just that little. There we go. There's too much in that fold as well. I'll just darken some of the highlights up. It's going to get a wash and probably some highlights down the back as well. So, even looking scrappy and a bit messy like that now, the fact that the way it turns out, almost half done. The kids using contrast paints, I've seen them doing fantastic stuff. Putting bits and pieces together and just throwing some of the contrast paints on them. A couple of the lads at Beanies, I can't remember his name, Junior, did a load of Space Marines that we had, and he was just running through contrast paints, and they were really good. He'd never picked up a paintbrush before, he'd never done any kind of painting. We just sprayed him up some Space Marines in the sea of grey, and he just went at it with the contrast paints, and there was a really nice Blood Angel that he did, and it was just contrast red, then picked up all the black bits, black gun and stuff like that, and then a couple of other colours. So Dooku, I think a red saber for Dooku, but do I do it traditional or do I go silver? Let's have my... So this was my favouriteest silver colour, which is Vallejo Chrome, and I was going through this stuff like nobody's business, but I got introduced. I can't remember who gave me it. Someone gave me a bottle of Vallejo's new silvers, new metals. Pink saber, and it's their airbrush colour. So this is their metal colours, and I've just ordered the rest of the range, so I've got the complete set. I think I was missing about 3 or 4. They're about £6 for a pot, and you get lots. 32mm. So compared to their other range, I think they're 16mm, something like that. 17mm, so you get twice as much, probably twice the price, but you should have shook it first. They come with a well, my ones came with an agitator. I don't know if he'd put the agitator in himself. I'll put it in a fresh oil since I've just used all of the... So just 2 drops of it. I'm not going to waste it. Thank you, Flaky Pastry. Is that Paul? Thank you, Paul. Sorry. So, this is airbrush paint. And I know Rasta said a few times about using airbrush paint with a brush. So I'm going to do the silver. And that's it. That's it coated. Thank you, dude. So that's the silver. I'm going to obviously highlight it, run the chrome down the centre, but I've got the aluminium, I've got the chrome, and I've got the other colours coming. Just the coverage on it. So this is a door plate that we've done for a bunker. And just while I've got a bit of paint there, it was a 3D printed test sample, as you can see, the 3D printingness. But it had grey primer on it, and there we go. I'm just using what's left up in the palette. The coverage on it is fantastic. I know I've used too much over that side because it's still pooling, but yeah, 2 drops have done the through an airbrush. It coats even nicer. There you go. Nice dirty. Which one is it that I've actually used? I didn't even check. So this is burnt iron. I should have used the aluminium one for his saber, not the burnt iron one. But it's a silver base, and I can take it from there. So yeah, really good paint, really good price. Hopefully one day we'll be able to stock the Vallejo stuff. I'm not going to do the normal colours, but the high-end stuff like that, I'd love to be able to stock that and sell you guys it, because anything that I use that I like to be able to sell. So go back to my favourite chrome. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a clear coat over it again. So looking at where the main view is, straight down. So this is the bit that you're going to see. This would be the brightest bit. So just using the edge of the brush. What time is it? Ooh, it's past. Run it down there like that. Ooh. A little bit more to the top. So underneath it's dark. Oh god, I've gone off the screen. Yeah. And then on the top it's the bright silver. Hopefully the metallics will still show through both. I'll let that dry for a second. Itchy ear. Right, I'm going to start the... Or am I? It's there somewhere. Dashboard. Giveaways. Guess what? 8:30 and the giveaways have stopped working again. Okay, let's check something. Cool. So, giveaway is actually might work. So, with it not being for the dice tonight because we've got halfway to the goal, so we might get there tomorrow night or next Monday. We have 2 cards available to choose from tonight. We have the metal Captain Seer. That's actually quite nice close up. There you go, Kate. And some of your fine work on display. So Captain Seer or General Grievous, all in the Beelzebub. And then there is the Upside Down Shore Troopers or Rebel Veteran cards. Whoever wins it, I'll draw it at 9 o'clock. Whoever wins it gets to choose which one they want, X-Wing or Legion. Tickets are 50 credits each. And starting now. Now? Hey! Can you have a Pokemon if you win? Bengar. I'm not going to comment. I have got Pokemon that I can give you. You're not winning a bacon sandwich. Right, so that's dried. I'm going to keep working while you're... Have I got a mint first edition Charizard? Yes, it's so mint, the ink is still wet on it, mate. May have dubious... massive dubious... A flashing bacon sandwich. Should be doing that where you can see it. So this, the red did this the other day. Bengar, stop encouraging him. For some reason that paint has started to separate. Don't say it's getting old. It's my nice paint. Go on, Captain Rex, get an entry put in. Yay. So I also need, obviously I'll be putting the glow from the red glaze over the front part, and that red's separated. Why is it doing that? It's practically dry on the brush as well. One last attempt. Or I'll get some mess on it and do it again. That's better. I'll still give it a glaze anyway. And hopefully that'll be a lot better. So again, the prize is for people to see. Well, or not see. I'll put it on the better versions. So you can either have one of Kay's amazing metal cards or the Legion Shore Troopers card. Which one? The Shore Troopers or... I love the Shore Troopers. The Shore Troopers is nice. Have you seen the actual card version of the Shore Troopers? You get that on one side. And what's on the other side of the... Oh, it's the... 1 second. I'll go behind my secret. I've probably made a right mess of it now. So the paper Shore Troopers, not the ones on offer, because the spot gloss one's even nicer. So you get the same thing, just obviously that's spot glossed and solid plastic. But how amazing does that look? It's probably one of my favourite pieces of artwork on a Legion card at the moment. Do you want me to show you a nice, really, really nice Rebel card, Snowy? Managed to pick these up off eBay. I know I got a couple from... I can't remember. It was one of the Beanies lads. Paul, might have been Paul or someone like that. But there was spot gloss dewback cards. There you go. You can see the spot gloss. But on their reverse side, there is the Tauntaun. Stupid Tauntauns. And that's... pick that up off eBay to either go onto the shop or into a stream. I don't know yet. We might do it as a stream prize, because, yeah. It's good fun doing the stream prizes. So, some of the other things that we've been doing, we've been buying Legion collections up off people. People who don't want to play anymore, or people who have moved on to a different faction, that sort of stuff. The lad that I bought this off, leave the poor Tauntauns alone. Yeah, burn the Tauntauns. They should be left on Hoth. So what I did pick up in a job lot this week that's just turned up, it turned up this morning, yes, burn them to the ground, is this. Now, this is a character card for a Rancor. Let's have a close-up. Now, it is fan fiction. It's not a legal one, but it's been done on really nice card. And Rancor, hostile move, while not engaged, after an enemy line and unit of sight performs an action at range 1 to 2, perform a full speed move towards the closest enemy unit if able. It's a... if I remember rightly, when I first saw someone put this out, it works on both sides. Grab attack. If an enemy unit is at speed 1 of this unit, perform a speed 1 move with the enemy unit towards this unit. I think you're just grabbing it and pulling it towards you and do an attack. Armor 2. Cancel up to 2 normal hits. Reposition. I think that's because it can waddle around. Rancor as terrain. It has 2 red, 2 black, 2 white. Impact 3, Pierce 1 and Suppressive. Crits to hit. 18 health. Can't be scared off. And you get 1 of them. So what was even more impressive than just getting the card is getting the Rancor. Now, I know it's 3D printed and it's all painted and it's really nicely painted. But I now have a 3D printed Rancor to play with his card. So, if anyone ever wants to play... so, I don't know if anyone knows the story, but Palp has pet Rancors. So, it's definitely... no space after the raffle, Paul. Sorry, a space between the raffle and 4. Sorry. So yeah, that was quite a nice surprise in the job lot that we got. There was a lot of nice painted stuff. We just picked it up off eBay. Someone had it on eBay last week. There was a lot of nicely painted Rebels stuff in there. So unfortunately it's so there you go, Paul. So Palp and a Rancor, because it's definitely in it. Rancors have always been Imperial. You can just tell that's a very Imperial pose. It's not a rebel pose because he's not skulking behind something. So yeah, it's a lovely little model. It's not the one. It's not even the one from Imperial Assault. It is fully 3D printed and a really good quality 3D printing as well. I have to say, I can only think that it has been smoothed out. It does just scream power. Dooku? Yeah, but I'm not going to play where there's any doors, Paul. I'm not going to put a little Rancor. What's he ever done to deserve this sort of Cool. I'm just keeping a check of the raffles actually working. Yeah, right, this has just gone in. We had a message from Streamlabs that do this add-on, and they have told us that it's just the sheer number of people doing streams at the moment has overwhelmed the servers, and they are trying to upgrade. So they gave us some advice on what to do, and just hold it. Keep the screen open in another box and don't close it down while you're running it. So that's what we are doing. So get some of the Dooku. It's still too. It's the only downside of it is does take a while to go off. I do like the blue. I do like these as well, little puppies. Sludge puppy. So, 10 minutes. What can we do for 10 minutes? Do I get the... I'll get some of his flesh done. So, what I've started using for the flesh is Kislev flesh, which really does nice. But I've started using the Airbrush Paints version. Because, I don't know if you can see this on here. It's really lovely and thin, but it also has very good coverage. I don't know if it's slightly different for the... I've got my wrong glasses on. The airbrush makeup or whatever goes into the airbrush paints. It's just nice. And it's not contrast, it's just normal paint. And then you can use just the usual Reichland flesh shade wash, thinned or not thinned. If you thin it, you get a lot pinker hand. If you don't thin it, it goes quite suntanned type colour. I'll leave doing the sabre hilt till after I've done all that, because the last time I did his sabre hilt, before I did all of the wash, the sabre hilt went slightly like reddish brownish, looked rusty, so I'll leave that till after. Same with his hair. I'm going to do the hair after everything's done, because the white hair is so pronounced. I want to be able to do that as a separate altogether. So the hair and the hilt will be the last things to get done properly. I got my magnifying glasses. I'll go to the position where no one can see because my cap's in the way. I'll try not to hit any of the white, and then it could actually save us some work. Not sure how much of this you can see at the moment. As I said, I need to... Yep. Some of his neck. Oh, I'll tell you what I needed to do as well. Quickly, I don't know, is Snowy still kicking about? Is he hanging around to see if he wins? A little bit on top of it here. The point on these brushes are amazing. Do not tell Chris I said that, Snowy. Playing so I've always wanted. I actually bought that on Kickstarter, but someone convinced me to sell it. I had the Connoisseurs edition, but someone offered lots of money and I'm weak. Oh, and I'm off the screen. So that's that. Right, what I was going to do is Snowy asked me about some pens. If I can find them, and I haven't put them away to. So yeah, Snowy was asking me about some pigment, some pens that I can't remember what he called them, and I use these. They are Pigment Liners. Statler or whatever they're called, and I use a lot of them for I've got 2.1s doing scroll work. So when you see the like these little can't see the little purity seals where you normally see writing on them all, and the reason I haven't done the writing is because I can't decide what to put on them yet. I tend to use these pigment liners. So for the normal writing on them, I've got the 0.051, and I will need a pair of glasses for this. I need to find something to write on as well. Something that I've put out. There we go. So I'm hoping you can see it on the screen. If these are good for doing eyes as well. So if you can see the dots of the buttons, all little dots. So you could imagine them as being eyes. For like scroll work, don't mind this, is say that's the actual scroll. Hey look, it's actually ripped at the bottom. So what we tend to do is do the main, not a real letter, you can't do real writing, but the first letter on the parchments for Black Templar and stuff like that's usually a big gold or a big red letter, and then that sort of thing. So you can go down to quite fine detail. Take them off now. And obviously it would look a lot better on parchment, and then when you stain it, you stain over the top of it and you get a really good picture of a very, very tiny parchment or scroll or whatever. I did try a couple. The red one was really hard to get. It's Pigma Micron 01, and it's archival ink. They're pigment pens at the end of the day. Yes, Jack. God, do I have all the whites? I have white glaze, cold white. I tend to use cold white the most. Then I have white. Then I have air white. Then I have dead white. And Dead White Air. And Plastic Putty in the wrong slot. What was the other one that you asked? Dead White and Arctic White. I don't have Arctic White, mate. White Glaze, I found that and I've never used it. And I believe, if I remember rightly, Dead White is slightly brighter than... Oh, I've got Cold White. What did you ask for? Dead White and Arctic White. So I've got Cold White, which is my main go-to one, which is the brightest white. Nights in White Satin, yeah. Yes, Jack, it would be one to be... I think if you go onto Vallejo's website, they do have RAL codes. And there's a way to work out brightness and RAL stuff. But, to be honest, on Stormtroopers, I don't think you're going to notice that much of a difference. The way I do them, you definitely don't. Hi, James. Yeah, I'm no knight. Mr. Flesh can go back up there. So, we're past. So, last call for the raffle. So, tonight's raffle is for a nice shiny metal Captain Seer or General Grievous for your X-Wing choices and for your Imperial Assault. Legion is Shore Trooper and Rebel Veterans Spot Gloss. Next week we should be in a position to do the dice. So I'll give you... what is it? I'll give you another 10 seconds to put any more in that you want, and then I will be closing the entries. I do like Dooku in the blue. I didn't think... yeah. Bacon Sandwich 5. I'm going to put a code in that does something for bacon sandwiches. Yeah, it makes him look... I don't know, how do you put it? It makes him look regal. Like, I know he's a count, but it does make him look that way inclined, sort of thing. I think as stuff comes together and we finish him, or I finish him off, he'll look pretty sweet. I've got a Krennic to do, but it came through and it was blue Q. Wow. He's in grey colours, so I think I'm going to strip him. Yeah, it does. It's very becoming. So I'm calling that on the giveaway. I was just waiting for Kate to stick one in at the last second, being awkward as usual. And it's now closed. So I have the ability to actually click it this time. So it's going to work without too much hassle. You can no longer enter the raffle. So who's going to do the drum roll? And our winner is... Foxy. Well done, mate. Which would you like, Legion or X-Wing? Yay. Thanks. Which one? It's going to be a hard choice, isn't it? Legion. That's alright. So, I do have bags, I think. That's way too small to put the card in. I will... Yeah, well, there's always next week to try again. So we've got plenty of cards to go through. He says looking for the pen to write your name on the box, on the thing. Medium. Hi, Alex. So I just write straight across it, don't I? It is sleeved before anyone. Right, that'll go into the pile of... That actually rubbed off. Is that permanent? It is permanent. What do you mean, no? Are you upset that you missed it? Or have I got the name? Is it Alex? I'm sure that was Alex. Always Alex, yeah. Okay. And complete. The giveaway has finished. So, we've had a good night. I've got a couple of bits and pieces done. I've got Dooku a lot further on than... He needs a better base. He needs sorting out on the base. Yeah, it is Alex. I knew it was Alex. So, Dooku is getting that. He's done. X-Wing ship's done. And the engines did come out alright. And is there anything anyone wants to see being painted? I've got quite a bit of the Legion stuff. I've definitely got a lot of Imperials that need painting, including my own. Is there anything that people would like to see on the next stream? I've got a tank. I might do it. Could do the tank in the next one. Who would like to see a tank painted? It's at the moment it's in bits, but I quite fancy doing one in the black, so people will see how we do the black. Tank. But I'm thinking a tank, black and blue in my special blue. Ooh. Right. We did hear something, and don't tell anyone. But I got a sneaky bit of information that the CIS, the Separatist tank, might be here by next week. So, might have the chance. If we say tank next week, I'll do the Imperial tank. Do I have an Imperial tank? I'd have to look, Jack. But I was going to do a tank in black and blue, which is my cobalt blue. I did the blue and white one a while back that sold very quick. I should have done more of them. And the other one, there is the chance of the droid tank turning up. I could have both. I'll build the other tank. That's the one that we've already... That's one of the ones that we've done. Well, that's too close. Take it back. So that's one of the ones that we've done. We did one the same, but grey and blue, which disappeared really quickly. I think it was in the shop for about half a day before it got snapped up. Might have monkeys next week to do, but I'll do the tank. trying to think what else. Yeah, so we'll go for a tank of some description. I've got a tiger, not that sort of tiger care before you start. Tiger and a Sherman from Bolt Action that I really fancy painting, but I'll do the I'll keep it Legion. I'll try and get an X-Wing ship shoehorned in as well, so we're covering both. A Decimator. I could do it in a tank top if you wanted. It's up to you. I'd have to find one because I definitely don't own one. Yeah, so a tank and so there was basing as well. Basing, tank. We'll see. We might do an impromptu basing one over the weekend if Rasta's not doing anything, something like that. I really want to do some of the basing ones for, and maybe the basing giveaway. I'll have a word with Rasta tomorrow, see when he's doing his streams at the weekend, and maybe he's do one. Did you see the one I'd just done for Dale, Sith Panda? Black, grey and white. Camo. We do the camo sheets. I know you can't see that. Yeah, the E17 one. It's alright. Dazzle pattern, that's the one. See, out of everyone, I thought Snowy, being into all of his old tanks and stuff like that, would have known what the dazzle pattern was, and not E17. Shows your heritage, matey. So, right, we're going way beyond the 2 hours, and I tried to keep it to the 2 hours. I love yous, and I'd love to be... Stay now. It's alright. I'm not going to admit it, but I think there's a photo out there somewhere of me in the grey, black and white camo jacket from E17. And yes, I did have one back then. Right, I'm definitely closing it on that bombshell. So, thank you everyone tonight for watching. Thanks for the ideas for next week. Absolute brilliant for the donations, and yeah, I'm not going. You'll never get to see that, I hope. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the subs, and thank you for the follows and likes. Everything like that helps. Everything, every little bit that you can do to push this. I think the virus lockdowns pushed me into actually getting this run properly. Excuse me. We've had all the gear to do it, so it's getting done. So catch us for the next one. Thank you very much.